Pablo will talk about the quality and libre software, so I'll just go ahead and give you the floor.
Hi everybody, my name is Pablo. This presentation is about a paper that my classmates and me created. We are attending to a Master of Free Software, so let's see. I'm going to tell briefly about the quality and the libre software, and then I try to explain the goals and the methodology for our paper and the most, maybe the most interesting points, the results and the conclusions. So, in the last years, libre software has won certain importance in the business world. Companies are trying to deal with libre software in order to know how it works and to find new business models based on it. But lack of confidence is still a problem that impedes the total integration of the libre software into the software industry. So it seems clear the necessity of to measure the quality on libre software. We could think in apply the traditional quality models or to apply new models. Some of them have already available. So we try to discover the problems about its case. In the first case, if we try to apply the traditional quality models, the problem is libre software is different. In libre software, we can do really data gathering, so we can get a lot of information about the public communities, and this kind of things is not contemplated in the traditional quality models. So in the second case, if in order to know how the new models try to measure the quality, we decided to test one of them. We select the OpenBRR model, and this model tries to assess the articulation of a project, a software project, when we have a group of requirements. This model provides a spreadsheet with several categories that they try to measure some different aspects of the software projects. These categories have a specific weight into the model, and this weight is assigned by the user. There is one category, functionality, that is evaluated differently from the other ones. In order to measure this category, we have to decide a standard feature list that the project must have. And the objectives of our paper are to apply this quality model in a real case. So we decided to measure 4 Linux distributions, and with that we hope to find the strengths and the weaknesses of the model and provide some conclusions and suggestions in order to improve it. people behind this paper. It's just for curiosity. This paper was elaborated in group, so we have to decide the weights for the categories and the standard factual list. So these are the results. From the point of view average user, generous distributions, we think that functionality and usability categories are critical because average user needs compatibility with the most typical kind of files, and she needs a friendly interface. In the second place of the importance, adoption, performance, and quality, because average user needs probably use the applications that they are the most popular, and she needs the application works fast and doesn't break. Documentation, security, and support have a bit important for an average user, but they are not critical because an average or normal user probably won't spend a lot of time reading documentation. The second part of the process is fill the model in the spreadsheet in the categories that they have metrics provided by the model. Just write the results, and in the functionality category it's necessary to get a standard factual list and assign weights and scores for each item in the list. Okay, this are the results. We decide to measure Ubuntu, OpenSUSE, Fedora, and PC Linux. And in these results, we can see PC Linux is an outsider because we couldn't get any information necessary for the metrics that PC Linux, OpenBRR provide. So it seems necessary in order to use this model that the projects follow the Bazaar model. The second point, functionality is crucial to results because the difference in the functionality category are more or less the same as the total score. So this is a good reason to say the model is very subjective because the functionality category is measured, is defined ad hoc by the user. Just for curiosity, the final results, the winner is according to this model Ubuntu. So probably if we ask to average users about which is the most friendly GNU distributions nowadays, Ubuntu would be the winner. As conclusions, because of the subjective assignment of the weights, different studies are not comparable with this model. But from this, the tool provided by the model is a spreadsheet. So the process is very manual. It's necessary to rewrite results in some parts of the spreadsheets, so it's not very helpful. With a spreadsheet, it is not possible to do data gathering So it's not possible to have a public repository with the results of several studies. Besides, many metrics don't take into account the size of the project. In the quality, for example, one of the metrics is the number of bugs, but it's probably that a big project have a lot of bugs, but it is not this is not a signal of the lack of quality in the project. And the last point, in the case of the PC Libros, we couldn't get information about many metrics. The model doesn't have any way to manage these problems. Well, this is our suggestions in order to improve the model. Instead of a spreadsheet, it would be great to have a tool that let us do data gathering, data consolidation, and it was easy searchable. Also, it would be great to have a predefined ways template related to the software domain and user requirements. With that, we can compare different studies, and the model maybe could be a bit more objective. Lots of metrics should take into account the project size, and it would be great to improve the brand image. For instance, with a tool instead of a spreadsheet, and improving also the web page. As final conclusions, we think that Libresoftware needs quality models. This model that we tested, OpenBRR, seems to be a first good approach, but it needs to be improved. As a final conclusion, we think that this model is too open to be useful. That's all. Thank you. I'm sorry for my nervous and my English.
We still have about 7 minutes to get to 5 o'clock. Any questions for Pablo?
How automated are your metrics? How automated are your metrics? Does it take a lot of manually looking at data, or do your tools do most of what you need?
Sorry, I don't understand.
¿Cuánto de automatizadas están las métricas y las métricas? Si el proceso es automático o requiere muchas cosas manuales.
No, it's totally automatic, because the model provides values. If the information that you have to get for one metric, you only have to get the result and compare with the values in the metric and mark the metric.
But the model itself, OpenBRR, is just totally manual. once you've got the OpenVR scores, then this tool is open. That's what I guess.
All right, you had 4 operating systems. My favorite one was not in that, so I'm very offended. Are you going to continue this research thing on more operating systems? Is anything planned for that?
Probably not, because the idea of the paper was prove the model, and we decided to use the case of the distributions, but the idea of the paper was to test OpenVR.
Was your operating system on that? Are you using any of them?
Yeah. But,
Are you going to switch because of the result?
Yeah, I think so. Now, we selected these 4 distributions according to the popularity list of DistroWatch. So we get the top 4. I think Debian it was in the top 4, but as we have chosen Ubuntu, we didn't want to choose 2 distributions in the same family. So Ubuntu is basically on Debian.
And you'd rather take the commercial version?
What I would like to do now, so that everybody do not forget the other 2 speakers, is that they also come here, and if you have any questions for any of the 3 speakers, we can also open the floor to all of that. So there's Christopher who talked about